Hello my dear children, I welcome you all in Bhavna Mishra Pandey English classes. Today we are going to do the ball poem, and through this image you must have understood that we are going to cover this poem, the stanza wise detailed explanation, then literary devices and all the important word meanings of this poem. So let's start. First of all, the poet John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs. And what is this Dream Songs? It's a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs, and for this sequence of 385 poems he got Pulitzer Prize. He also won National Book Award. So, introduction of this poem. The ball poem has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. So, what does this poem describe? Describes the reality of life, and एक ना एक दिन हमको वो face करनी ही पड़ती है. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and the sorrows of life. So, what does the poet say here? In this poem, he describes that how to tolerate the miseries, means the sorrows or the sadness of life. जो भी हमारी लाइफ में दुख हैं, जो भी परेशानियां हैं, उनको कैसे टॉलरेट किया जाना चाहिए. So he describes all these things here in this poem. So let's start with stanza 1. So here, what is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water, merrily cheerful, bouncing, jumping up and down. So the poet here is talking about a boy who has lost his ball. In the first line, poet says that what is the boy now? Who has lost his ball? So the poet says that a boy who has lost his ball, he wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball. वो उसकी reaction जानना चाहता है. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? Further, he asks to himself that what this boy will do after losing the ball. So the poet says that what is he to do, means what will the child do? अब वो बच्चा क्या करेगा? He wants to know the reaction of the boy who has lost his ball. The poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. तो वो बॉल कहाँ चली गई थी? The poet says that I saw it go. मैंने उसे जाते हुए देखा. The poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. And what does the poet say? And then merrily over there it is in the water. So then the poet says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street. This means that when the ball skipped from boy's hands, जब वो ball boy के hand से skip हुई थी, it went into the street and later on it fell into nearby river. वो कहाँ चली गई थी? River में चली गई थी. Merrily over there it is in the water. ये कहाँ चली गई थी? Water में. Bouncing, jumping up and down. Now students, let's see the literary devices used in this poem. First of all, here in this poem, the word what and merrily, these two words are repeated continuously. So this is called anaphora. So use of repeated words in two or more lines, that is anaphora. You can see what is the boy, then what again this word is repeated, then the word merrily. Here in the second line you can see merrily, then again merrily, again merrily. Okay, so this is the example of anaphora. It is a literary device. Then next is, here you can see the vowel O is continuously repeated. Boy, B-O-Y. O sound is repeated. Alright, here now second literary devices, that is repeated sound of O. N-O-W. O sound. B-O-Y. O sound. W-H-O. the vowel O is repeated. So assonance, the literary device which is used here is assonance, means B-O, vowel O, then N-O-W, now vowel O, W-H-O, vowel O, then L-O-S-T, lost, vowel O. Alright, this is called assonance. Then the third device is imagery. The poet creates here imagery. When poet says merrily bouncing down the street, the poet says that merrily bouncing down the street. Poet creates here an image, एक image create करता है. It is also literary device, imagery. Then this word what is continuously repeated. So repetition is also here. You can see what. Okay, so this word is continuously repeated. So this is also the example of repetition. So students, here these are the notes given for your practice during exams. If you will listen this video twice, thrice, you can get good marks. It's for your practice. Now here some literary devices also given which is used in this paragraph. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this. Now let's move ahead. Alright. Now come to stanza 2. What does the poet say here? No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him a dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. So students, let's see some keywords, important hard words used here in the second stanza. So here first of all the word, this is grief. Grief means sorrow. Okay. Then next difficult word is rigid. Rigid means fixed. Grief means sorrow. Rigid means fixed. Trembling means shaking. Then harbor. Harbor means dock. You can say D-O-C-K, dock, or you can say port. Okay, port पे harbor या port, बंदरगाह in Hindi. Then intrude. Intrude means, intrude का means होता है invade, invader, आक्रमण करना उस पे. Then this dime. Dime is currency, you can say in US. One dime means 10 cents. And the word worthless. Worthless means valueless or useless. So these are the important hard words. Now let's move to the explanation of this stanza. So what does the poet say? Poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy by saying that he will get another ball because he has other balls too. So what does the poet say? No use to say, oh, there are other balls. Poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy. उस boy को console करने का कोई benefit नहीं है. क्या कह के कि तुम्हारे पास और भी बहुत सारी balls हैं. As an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down. So the poet says that he says so because the boy is feeling very sad. Boy बहुत ज़्यादा sad feel कर रहा था. So the poet said उसके grief को fix करने के लिए poet ने ऐसा word use किया. उसने console करने का try किया. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. Who? The boy. Boy के चारों तरफ क्या था? किससे घिरा हुआ था वो? sorrow से. Because he has lost his ball. He is sad because all the memories of the childhood days went down the harbor with the ball. So what does the poet say here? All his young days into the harbor where his ball went. यानी कि वो जो ball कहाँ चली गई है? हार्बर पे, यानी कि उस पोर्ट के पास जो सी है वहां पे वो जो वहाँ पे वो जो उसकी बॉल है वो चली गई है, एंड उस बॉल के साथ उसकी जो मेमोरीज थी, यंग डेज मीन्स मेमोरीज ऑफ चाइल्डहुड, सो द मेमोरीज ऑल्सो had gone with that ball. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad as the ball, which has now gone into the water, reminds him of those sweet memories of the time when he owned it. तो poet कहते हैं यहाँ पे कि उस बॉय जो है वो बहुत सैड है क्योंकि उसकी बॉल जो वो खो चुकी है, एंड वो जो वाटर है वो उसको क्या रिमाइंड करता है, वो जो स्वीट मेमोरीज थी उसके पास्ट की, जो उसकी बॉल से कनेक्टेड जो मेमोरीज थी उन सबको वो याद कर रहा है. दैट्स वाई द बॉय इज सैड एंड sorrowful. So what does the poet say? I would not intrude on him a dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. So what does the poet say? What the poet says that this loss is unbearable for him. ये जो loss है वो क्या है? Unbearable means इसको कोई पूरा नहीं कर सकता. As he is grief stricken. क्या है वो? Grief stricken. Why grief stricken? क्योंकि उसकी बॉल खो गई है एंड उसको बहुत ज़्यादा बुरा लग रहा है. The poet says that he can't even tell the boy to take some money from him and buy another ball. क्योंकि ये सब क्या होगा? अ डाइम अनादर बॉल इज वर्थलेस. क्योंकि अगर वो ऐसा करेगा तो भी उसका कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है. अ डाइम मीन्स 10 सेंट्स. अगर वो उसको मनी दे दे टू परचेज अनादर बॉल, दैट इज ऑल्सो यूजलेस बिकॉज उस बॉल से उसकी मेमोरीज जो थी वो कनेक्टेड थी चाइल्डहुड की मेमोरीज. नाउ ही सेंसेस फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. So the poet he says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belonging to the boy. Actually वो जो नई बॉल होगी उससे उसकी मेमोरीज कनेक्टेड नहीं है. जो पास्ट टाइम की मेमोरीज कनेक्टेड थी वो उस ओल्ड बॉल से जो कि खो चुकी है, दैट इज लॉस्ट, उससे उसकी मेमोरीज कनेक्टेड थी. सो फर्दर द पोइट सेज दैट the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his things. What does the poet say? Now he senses first responsibility. What first responsibility? Responsibility of taking care of things. Now here in the second stanza the poet says that अब वो टाइम आ गया है जब बच्चे को लर्न करना चाहिए, बच्चे को सीखना चाहिए. What? Taking care of things. अपनी things का कैसे ध्यान रखा जाए. He should sense the first responsibility of taking care of things. So students, here some these word power means some hard words are given for your notes. Okay, then this is the explanation of this second stanza. This will be beneficial for you. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this. Then move ahead. Again here the explanation is given. Okay, so let's move. Now let's come to the literary devices. Okay, so let's move to second stanza once again. Let's talk about the literary devices. What literary devices are given here? First one is repetition. Repetition of this ball word. Balls and ball. So this is again ball. So here the ball word is continuously repeated. So repetition of the word ball. All right. Then now let's come to stanza 3. What does the poet say here? In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes, his epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So first of all, let's see the hard words from here. First of all, this possessions. Possessions means ownership. जो चीज़ें हमारी हैं, जिन पे हमारा अधिकार है, ownership, जिनके हम ओनर हैं. Okay. Then the word is external. External means external here means with which the feelings are not attached. Means जिसके साथ हमारी feelings attached नहीं है. Here things with which feelings are not attached. Now next word is desperate. Desperate means hopeless, you can say. And next word is epistemology. Epistemology you can say is a Greek word which means knowledge. Okay, so epistemology means knowledge, ज्ञान, किसी चीज के बारे में पता होना. So let's come to the explanation of this stanza. So in a world of possessions, people will take balls will be lost always, little boy. So the poet says here that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. So the poet says that बच्चे को सीखना चाहिए, he has to learn that in this materialistic world, इस वर्ल्ड में बहुत सारी उसकी belongings होंगी, उसके पास बहुत सारी चीज़ें होंगी जो कि गुमेंगी. Balls will be lost. बहुत सारी चीज़ें होंगी उसके पास and वो गुम भी जाएंगी. What does the poet say here? He personifies the ball as his belongings. तो ये जो वर्ड बॉल है, बॉल वर्ड को वो क्या करता है हियर? ही पर्सोनिफाइज, वो इसको पर्सोनिफाई करता है, इसमें ह्यूमन क्वालिटीज ऐड करता है. एंड ही सेज दैट ये जो बिलोंगिंग्स हैं उसकी, ये बहुत बार खो भी जाएंगी. मीन्स be it the worldly things or the relationship he is in possession of. Means बॉल से वो यहाँ पे relationship से मतलब लेता है कि उसकी बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें, बहुत सारे ऐसे relations जो कि इस वर्ल्ड में खो जाएंगे. So he says that he has to learn to live without them no matter what. What does the poet say? that boy को ये सीखना होगा how to live without them. चाहे कुछ भी हो, उनके बिना कैसे रहना है. So he says that he has to learn to live without them. He has no one can buy back such things for him. What does the poet say? Poet says that कोई भी नहीं होगा. No one buys a ball back. Means इन चीज़ों को वापस लाने वाला. No one can buy back such things for him. ऐसी चीज़ें जो एक बार खो जाएंगी, कोई भी उनको वापस नहीं ला सकता. Then the poet says that because poet says that money is external. What does the poet say? Poet said so because according to him money can't buy you everything. Money is external, means money is a worldly thing, it's a materialistic thing, and हम money से सारी चीज़ें नहीं खरीद सकते because relationship, relatives once lost never come back through money. मनी से हम उनको वापस नहीं ला सकते. मीन्स सारी चीज़ें मनी से वापस नहीं लाई जा सकती. सो ये बॉल यहाँ पे पर्सोनिफाई करती है हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स को, हमारी बिलोंगिंग्स को. मतलब जो जो चीज़ें हमारे पास है, सारी चीज़ें मनी वापस नहीं ला सकता. सो देन द पोएट सेज दैट he is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So the poet says that if it does buy you some materialistic thing, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. अगर मनी से ये सारी चीज़ें वापस भी लाई जा सकें तो भी जो आपकी सेंस, जो आपकी फीलिंग्स हैं उन चीज़ों से कनेक्टेड, वो वापस नहीं लाई जा सकती. सपोज द बॉल वॉज लॉस्ट, उस बच्चे की बॉल खो गई थी. मनी से वी कैन परचेज अनदर बॉल, लेकिन उस बॉल के साथ जो उसकी पास्ट मेमोरीज थी वो वापस नहीं लाई जा सकती. दैट्स वाई द पोएट सेज दैट if it does buy you some materialistic things, अगर वो money आपको materialistic things buy करके दे भी देता है, purchase करके दे भी देता है, still फिर भी it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness, यानी कि उससे जुड़ी हुई जो हमारी यादें हैं, हमारी जो feelings हैं, वो वापस नहीं आ सकती. Then the poet says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost things. Epistemology of loss. Still the boy is learning. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. वो जो बच्चा है उसको सीखना चाहिए कि उसको कैसे stand up. Stand up means उसको कैसे tolerate करना है इस सारी चीज़ों को जो चीज़ें उसकी खो चुकी हैं. Desperate eyes means hopeful. उसको जो चीज़ें उसकी खो चुकी हैं उसको देखना है कि कैसे उसको इनको संभाल के रखना है, एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी निभानी है. दिस मीन्स दैट द बॉय इज ट्राइंग टू लर्न द रियल ट्रूथ ऑफ लाइफ विच स्टेट्स दैट यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट द मिजरीज ऑफ लाइफ एंड स्टैंड अप अगेन. मीन्स एक ये नॉलेज उसको द बॉय इस इंसिडेंट के थ्रू बॉय इज लर्निंग. वो क्या लर्न कर रहा है कि एपिस्टेमोलॉजी ऑफ लॉस, यानी कि उसने जो कुछ खोया है उसको वो, ये ट्रुथ है किसका, ये रियल ट्रुथ है लाइफ का जिसको वो सीख रहा है थ्रू मिजरीज ऑफ लाइफ. नोइंग वॉट एवरी मैन मस्ट नो वन डे, वो सीख रहा है वो सारी चीज़ें जो इंसान को एक न एक दिन सीखना ही पड़ता है. दिस इज द ट्रुथ ऑफ लाइफ विच एवरी वन हैज़ टू लर्न इन हिज और हर लाइफ. हर किसी को अपनी लाइफ में ये सारी चीज़ें सीखनी पड़ती हैं. मस्ट वन डे नो एंड मोस्ट नो मेनी डेज हाउ टू स्टैंड अप. एंड दिस इज द हार्श ट्रुथ. हार्श मतलब बहुत ही कड़वा सच है किसका, लाइफ का. स्टैंडिंग अप अगेंस्ट द ओल्ड एंड द ओल्ड मिजरीज ऑफ लाइफ दैट एवरीवन हैज़ टू बियर. क्या है ये, बहुत ही हार्श ट्रुथ है, बहुत ही कड़वा ट्रुथ है कि कैसे हमको सहन करना चाहिए, कैसे हमको उसके अगेंस्ट खड़ा रहना चाहिए. किसके खिलाफ, ओल्ड मिजरीज हैं जो कि हमारी लाइफ के दुख हैं, उनके खिलाफ हमको कैसे खड़े रहना चाहिए एंड कैसे उनको बियर करना चाहिए, मतलब टॉलरेट करना चाहिए. सो दिस इज द वर्ल्ड पावर. वर्ल्ड पावर मीन्स the most important words here given. Now the explanation, and here again the explanation is given for you. You can take a screenshot of this. Now come to the literary devices, students. So in the third stanza, first of all, the word which is used continuously, that is B sound. This is the example of alliteration. Means the sound of B is continuously repeated. Buys a ball back. B, B and B. Buys a ball back. B, B, B. Alright. Then assonance. Assonance means vowel sound. Vowel sound E is continuously repeating. He, E sound, is learning. Okay, so then repetition, ball word is repeated. Then rhyming scheme, students, there is no rhyming scheme given in this poem. So students, thank you so much, and in the next video we will discuss about all the question answers of this poem. So bye bye for now. We will meet in our next video.